All right, well, good evening. My name is Brian Callenberg, organizer of this event. First of all, I want to say how pleased I am to see such a large audience for this event, a conference perhaps taking place 30 years too late, concerning what is often referred to as the situation, the conflict, or the instability in the east of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Without further ado, please join me in welcoming Ambassador Ngokwey to the University of Oxford.
Let me begin by thanking the organizers of this event for having me here. Let me also thank you for your participation, for taking the time to have this exchange. I will mainly focus on 4 points, 4 key issues. The first point, the humanitarian crisis. We forget that wars destroys life. Wars destroy livelihoods. Since 2022, when M23 and the Rwandan Defense Forces captured Bunagana, a city in North Kivu, there has been 1,200 people killed. That was in Bunagana only. And we have 7.8 million internally displaced people. 7.8 million. This is the figure I got yesterday, not from the government, but from the UN Office Coordinating Humanitarian Affairs, OCHA. 7.8 million internally displaced people. This is a whole country. It could be a country. But then, we thought we have seen the worst, but the worst was still to come. Since January 2025, when Goma and Bukavu were also invaded, the UN has confirmed 3,000 people killed just in Goma. Once again, those are UN figures, not Congolese government figures. But the government has now established last week that in Goma alone, it was actually 8,000 people killed. 20 children were executed. 20 children. 200 were burned alive in Bukavu. 200 children burned alive. We have 275,000 additional internally displaced people. We have 50,000 refugees. Most of them, that is 40,000, they went to Burundi. We have more than 200 women raped. More than 200 women raped. And the day before yesterday, 133 people were abducted from a hospital. And we don't know where they are now. 2,595 schools were closed, impacting 1,100,000 children. Why do we have this situation? Well, because of M23 and the Rwandan Defense Force. I said that the M23 is a terrorist organization. The title of the lecture said, Rebels Rwanda Resources. I think we should not say rebels. I think we should just call them terrorists. They are terrorists under the African Union Convention on Terrorism. They are terrorists under the United Kingdom Act on Terrorism of Rwandan forces to M23 has been verified and confirmed by the United Nations and by independent groups. There are at least 4,000 Rwandan forces in DRC today, violating basic principles and values of the African Union. So why am I saying that the M23 is a terrorist organization? Because there are documented action by M23. For example, bombing IDP camps. They did that. Killing UN peacekeeping forces. Killing even SADC forces. So those are facts documented. Killing the peacekeepers and the rapes, gang rapes of many women. What can we do to put an end to this? What have we learned from the past when the M23 was defeated in 2013? We learned that, first of all, political pressure is very, very important. Political pressure, it came at the time mainly from the United States, from President Obama. But in addition to political pressure, we need also military action. MONUSCO, the UN peacekeeping mission in DRC, was authorized to actually use forces, and with a special brigade, including also Tanzania, South Africa, Kenya, etc. First, of course, financial sanctions. We know that Rwanda lives mainly with financial aid from around the world, so financial sanctions can have an impact. This is indeed what happened in 2013. So, what is being done now already? We are beginning to see political pressure. We heard yesterday from Canada. Last week, we heard from the UK. 2 weeks before, the Security Council voted a unanimous resolution putting political pressure, and the African Union Peace and Security Council also very clearly pointed the finger to Rwanda, asking them to withdraw. SADC did the same thing. So there is political pressure going on. It is very, very important that political pressure doesn't limit itself to only statements. Because we know that a statement alone will not make a difference. And of course, we need military action. We in DRC, we know the challenges we have with our army. We know that our army needs serious reform, and we are working on that. But we also know that this is not a one-week process. This is a long-term process, and we are working on that. You cannot take any action. You cannot violate the territorial integrity of a country, the territorial sovereignty of a country, and expect that won't have consequences. There is an emerging new consensus. The new consensus about what is happening. And what is that new consensus? It has 3 points for me. The first one is that all of this has to do with mineral resources. It has to do with territorial expansion. The president himself, Kagame, has said publicly that maybe we should question the borders left by the colonialism. And the third one, if we are not careful, if we are not taking this seriously, this could lead to a very serious regional war. This could set ablaze a conflict we will not be able to control. Fourth, we want the suspension of Rwanda as a UN troop contributing country. You know that Rwanda is the African largest country contributing troops to the UN for peacekeeping missions. But how can you be a contributor to peacekeeping while being at the same time a warmonger? But let me give you my own answer to that question. How far will Rwanda go? Well, Rwanda will go as far as the international community Let it go. Rwanda will go as far as the Congolese government. Let it go. But let me tell you something. All Congolese are now determined. They are saying enough is enough. This cannot continue forever. Because this is not the Congo we want to leave to our children.
I think the ambassador was able to articulate very well not only Congo's position, but also what this conflict means for the region and for Africa in particular as well.
It was definitely very insightful to hear about the tangible impact that this is having on the lives of the Congolese people themselves.
It's interesting in the role of the European Union and to see the potential influence we could possibly have to help actually and negotiate and end this conflict.
I think it's very important conversation to have, and I'm glad that the African Society here was able to organize it.
Very, very important opportunity and occasion for the wider audience here at the University of Oxford to get the Congolese perspective on what is going on. Because for years, Rwanda has been shaping its story, but which was not absolute story.